The Enchanted Library Adventures. Leo, a 12-year-old boy with a passion for books and imagination, had always felt more at home in the stories he read than in the real world. His bedroom was filled with adventure novels, fantasy epics, and old, dusty books from the town's second-hand bookstore. One afternoon, while wandering the streets, Leo took a wrong turn and found himself in a narrow alley he had never noticed before. At the end of the alley stood a large, imposing building with stone walls covered in ivy and an ancient wooden door. Drawn by a strange, irresistible curiosity, Leo walked up to the door, which seemed far older than anything else in town. Carved into the wood were strange symbols and letters he didn't recognize. Without hesitation, he pushed the door open, expecting the building to be abandoned. Instead, he found himself standing inside an enormous, dimly lit library. The shelves towered above him, reaching up to a ceiling that was lost in the shadows, and the air smelled of ancient parchment and leather-bound volumes. The library was vast, much larger than the outside of the building had suggested. Rows upon rows of books stretched out in every direction, disappearing into darkness. As Leo wandered through the aisles, he noticed something peculiar. Many of the books were written in languages he couldn't understand, with symbols that shimmered and shifted when he tried to read them. The further he walked, the quieter the room became, until the only sound was his own breath. At the very back of the library, tucked away in a secluded corner, Leo found a large pedestal, and atop it sat an enormous book. The book was different from the others. Its cover was engraved with intricate designs, and it seemed to glow faintly with a soft golden light. The title was written in a script Leo couldn't read, but he felt a strange pull toward it. Without thinking, he reached out and touched the book. The moment his fingers made contact, the air around him shimmered, and the room began to spin. Suddenly, Leo found himself standing in the middle of a forest. The towering trees had leaves that sparkled like emeralds, and the ground beneath his feet was covered in a thick, soft moss that glowed faintly in the twilight. Overhead, the sky was a deep purple, dotted with two glowing moons. The air was crisp and cool, filled with the sounds of rustling leaves and distant melodic birdsong. Leo looked around, bewildered and amazed. Somehow, the book had transported him into another world. Chapter 1. The Emerald Forest. Leo's first adventure takes place in the Emerald Forest, a vast, enchanted woodland filled with ancient magic. As Leo explores, he encounters a fox named Alaric, who speaks in a deep, wise voice. Alaric explains that Leo has been chosen by the Enchanted Library, a mystical place that connects countless worlds through its books. Each book in the library holds a unique realm, and only those chosen by the library can enter these worlds. Alaric becomes Leo's guide, teaching him about the rules of this new reality. In the Emerald Forest, the trees are alive with knowledge, and those who listen closely can hear the whispers of ancient wisdom carried on the wind. However, the forest is under threat. A dark force known as the Shadow Stalker has begun to spread its influence, corrupting the heart of the forest and turning once peaceful creatures into dangerous beasts. Leo and Alaric set out on a journey to find the Crystal of Light, a powerful artifact hidden deep within the forest that has the power to cleanse the land of the Shadow Stalker's corruption. Along the way, they encounter a brave warrior named Alara, who wields a sword forged from moonlight. Together, the three must navigate treacherous terrain, solve ancient riddles, and battle the corrupted creatures of the forest. As they venture deeper into the forest, Leo learns that the Shadow Stalker is not just a local threat. It is a being of immense power, imprisoned within the library's books for centuries. Now that it is breaking free, its darkness is spreading across the many worlds connected by the library. Leo realizes that he is not just a visitor to these realms. He has a vital role to play in stopping the shadow stalker before it consumes everything. After a climactic battle at the heart of the Emerald Forest, Leo and his friends manage to purify the land by using the Crystal of Light, restoring peace to the forest. However, their victory is short-lived, as they learn that the shadow stalker has already begun spreading its influence to other worlds. Leo must return to the enchanted library to continue his quest. Chapter 2: The Kingdom of Glass. Back in the library, Leo discovers another book glowing on a nearby shelf. This time the book transports him to the Kingdom of Glass, a dazzling realm where everything, from the grand castles to the delicate flowers, is made of shimmering crystal. The kingdom is ruled by Princess Amara, a kind-hearted leader who is struggling to keep her realm from crumbling under the weight of a mysterious curse. The once brilliant light that powered the kingdom's crystal heart is fading, and without it, the kingdom will shatter into millions of pieces. Leo, Alaric and Alara join forces with Amara to uncover the source of the curse, which they soon discover is another manifestation of the Shadow Stalker's growing power. Together they journey to the Crystal Caverns, a dangerous labyrinth filled with traps, ancient guardians and long-forgotten secrets. Inside the caverns, Leo faces trials that test his courage and intelligence. He must solve complex puzzles and navigate dangerous paths to reach the Heartstone, a powerful gem capable of reigniting the crystal heart and saving the kingdom. Along the way, Leo learns more about his own abilities, discovering that the magic of the library has begun to flow through him, giving him the power to manipulate the worlds within the books. After narrowly escaping the caverns and restoring the light to the kingdom, Leo realizes that the Shadow Stalker's influence is growing stronger. Time is running out, and he must move quickly if he is to stop the darkness from consuming the remaining worlds. Chapter 3: The Skybound Isles. In his next adventure, Leo is transported to the Skybound Isles, a series of floating islands high above the clouds. Here he meets Kai, a daring young airship pilot who dreams of exploring the world. The Skybound Isles are home to powerful winds that keep the islands afloat, but the winds have begun to die down, threatening to send the islands crashing into the ocean below. Leo and his companions must find the legendary Windstone, an ancient artifact set to control the winds. However, the Windstone has been hidden for centuries, guarded by a race of mystical beings known as the Windward Guardians. To retrieve it, Leo must prove his worth by passing a series of trials that test his bravery, intelligence, and heart. As the group travels from island to island, they encounter fierce sky pirates, dangerous storms, and ancient ruins filled with traps. Leo's bond with his companions grows stronger, and he begins to understand the true nature of the enchanted library. It is not just a collection of books. It is a living, breathing entity that holds the power to connect all the worlds it contains. The Rising Darkness. As Leo's journey continues, he becomes increasingly aware of the Shadow Stalker's growing power. Each world he visits has been touched by its influence, and the darkness is spreading faster than he can stop it. Back in the library, Leo discovers an ancient prophecy hidden within the pages of one of the books. The prophecy speaks of a chosen one who will rise to defeat the Shadow Stalker and restore balance to the multiverse. Leo realizes that he is that chosen one, and the weight of his responsibility becomes clear. With each new adventure, Leo gathers powerful allies and ancient artifacts, preparing for the final battle against the Shadow Stalker. He travels to the sunken city of Atlantis, where he must retrieve the Trident of Tides, and to the Ashen Mountains, where he faces off against a dragon to claim the Flame of Eternity. Along the way, he learns valuable lessons about courage, sacrifice, and the power of friendship. The final battle. In the grand finale, the Shadow Stalker breaks free from its prison within the library and begins to merge the worlds together, creating a chaotic and dangerous landscape where time and space are unraveling. Leo, Alaric, Alara, Amara, Kai, and all the friends he has made along the way must unite their strengths for one final confrontation. The battle takes place across multiple realms, with Leo and his friends fighting to prevent the Shadow Stalker from tearing the multiverse apart. The stakes are higher than ever, and Leo knows that not everyone will survive the coming conflict. In the end, it comes down to Leo, standing alone against the Shadow Stalker in the heart of the library. To defeat the darkness, Leo must make the ultimate sacrifice, giving up his connection to the library and the worlds within it. In a final act of bravery, Leo uses the combined power of the artifacts he has collected to imprison the Shadow Stalker once again. The library is saved, but Leo's connection to it is severed, and he finds himself back in his own world, standing in the alley where his adventure began. Though the door to the enchanted library is now closed to him, Leo knows that the friends he made and the worlds he saved will live on, waiting for the next chosen one to continue the adventure.